I am Friar Tuck. This is my epoch. Okay, so I know I got a couple of you here in chat, and it's a couple minutes early, and I wanted to see if you guys would be willing to help me with doing a mic check. As you guys see, this is the new mic that I got. It's lavalier, so it plugs right into my shirt. Now, what I need to do is I need to make sure that it is properly working. So as you guys see in the reflection behind me, there's lots of cars going beside me. So how does my sound? Can you tell that I'm on a microphone, or do you hear the echo because I got bricks on either side of me? Do you hear the traffic really, really heavy? Because it's supposed to be a noise canceling mic. Now I'm having issues with it, so if you are in chat, if you could just give me your understanding of what's going on, or as far as like the sound goes, I would be much appreciated. So, um, but okay, hey Rugsy, Echo, High Tech. Okay, so can you hear? How does this sound? Does it sound like I'm on a mic, or does it sound like am I peaking? Is it Uh, so you can hear the microphone now. So so if I go like that, can you hear that? I think there's like a 30-second delay. So, but I will learn to be a little bit quieter. Okay, perfect. So it is working. Yay! I'm so happy. So this will also block out the wind. So yes, it's a little hot, but good to. Okay, so now I got to learn how to adjust this thing because yeah, I technically am a little loud. So I will figure this out. That is the next part. Um, but okay, so it sounds like I've got a hot mic here. So hopefully it blocks out a lot of the other stuff. So, anyways, this is an open mic. So, if you guys want to ask any question, if you want to start on any topic, you want to get me going on a topic, this is the day to be able to do that. Use a piece of foam to cover the mic. See, look, there's this here. Now, I could go in. Hold on, because it does come. So it comes with the second mic. So if I need to do interviews, it's really easy to pair. But it also comes with this. So hold on a second. Let me. So with this is for the wind, and we've been having some wind. But I'll take that off and put this on. Now tell me, does this sound a little bit better? So, and I'm looking forward to the replay. But the nice thing about this, and I spent about $30 on this, but it comes with a 3.5 millimeter jack. It comes with a USB to C, a C to C, and yeah, it comes with quite a few different accessories. That way, it's cross compatible with whatever device that you have. Now, I will tell you that with my little, I was getting really excited. I was thinking, you know what? I have, this will be really good, and I can use my action camera, and I can really, and then it'll be easier to transfer from my action camera because I have. Let's see if I can find it and pull it out. So I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of my setup of how I do stuff. So what I have is I have this. So this is a lightning cable for the old iPhone. This is the cable for the new iPhone. But actually, it's a C cable. Now it'll work on an Android, but for some reason, when I plug it into my new iPhone, it will not work properly. But it works when I plug it into the computer. So so therefore I can take it. I've also got this. So this is a card reader. So this goes into here, which goes into a computer. Also, so I bought a 32 gig mini SD card. This one here is an 8 gig, which is what the camera came with, or either that or somebody gave it to me. But that's kind of what I have as far as like my camera setup. So this microphone was supposed to be the last thing that I did. The level on that mic is better, but the sound is not better. Okay. Am I peaking, or is it just not clear? Because there's a lot of noise going on around me. So like the church bells just went off and stuff like that. Okay. So, but I mean, it was $26. It's not like I was spending like, my Rode mic cost me $60. Now I kind of miss it, but since I got this phone, because it was as part of the trade-in. Now what was weird is with this phone, I called in and they're like, oh yeah, we got nothing. My old man calls in, they're like, oh yeah, here's a free phone. But as soon as I got the phone, within 2 weeks, the charging port, and I've got to get down to somewhere and do that. So if I go without doing videos for a couple of weeks, including on Patreon, it's because I had to send my phone in, and I'm not willing to pay for a replacement. I expect this to be done under warranty, and since they may have to replace, unless they've got the parts there in the Apple store, but most likely they don't. And so I may be a couple of weeks without my phone, up to a month, and that's going to really suck. So I'm trying to make sure that I have a backup set up. So I may end up doing videos because I have the action camera, which I can therefore load, and I've got the mic, so now I can get more professional audio. So now I'm not so attached to my phone, other than being able to just kind of have it for other things. So okay, Rugsy, I got your message from the website. So, but I saw it just pop up in a notification. But anyways, this has been a really, really fantastic run that we're having. So, okay, I'm kind of hoping you guys can see this from my perspective, because this is something that I'm sitting back and I'm noticing, and I'm like, wow, I never really expected my YouTube journey to be like this. And probably since I've got Sam was kind of like the first piece, and then ever since I've had Sam, it's like it's almost like my channel has exploded in a lot of ways, because of a lot of the work that I was doing before, and then just kind of having her as an addition, has its own dynamic, as far as being able to have someone or something to interact with. Okay, but anyways, it also gives me just something else to think about, other than just completely obsessing about my channel, which being able to step away from my channel, and kind of take a deep breath, because I'm taking Sam down to the river, or I'm taking her to the dog park. I got to make sure she's fed. I got to do all this with her. In the mornings I got to take her to this park, and having those routines to be able to do with Sam is important. And it's enough of a distraction to give me that nice breather. And now I can actually come up with better content, make better content, and things like that. And it's benefiting me in a lot of ways, because since the start of this year, I have gotten more views than in the whole year of 2023. So this channel is taking off. I just got a message from Mark Horvath. Okay, do you guys know who Mark Horvath is? Okay, sent you a link for a mic muffler I use in my online classes. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. So, if for those of you who don't know who Mark Horvath is, I've kind of talked about him as kind of like, I don't agree with him and the way he does his channel. The way that he portrays homelessness, but he's got about 500,000 subscribers. And he does like what I like to call the sob stories of the homeless. So he'll go into an encampment where he sees a bunch of people just got moved by the police, and he'll interview somebody, and he'll turn it into a story and put it as a YouTube short, or he'll do long form interviews kind of talking about so he does kind of offer the homeless story. But what he's doing and what I'm doing are polar opposites. He is allowing people to kind of wallow in the misery, versus looking at it as an opportunity. So a good story to tell you guys is when I was on the Pinhoti, I just crossed over into Georgia. I think it was Cave Springs. Okay, and so I ended up doing a live stream there for a quick minute I was gonna see if I could find a camp spot in town, or maybe even raise enough money to stay at the hostel. Okay, and I ended up sitting at this grocery store that also had like a little bit of a restaurant deli in it, gas station food. And I end up buying something to eat, and the guy was and I got talking, and I started complaining about my situation. Oh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, it all sucks, man. This whole process sucks. And he looks at me and he says, every obstacle is an opportunity. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're some kid, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. You're some clerk that works behind there at minimum wage, and you're trying to tell me that, yeah, okay, be an ideologue. And so I get to talking to the kid. Turns out that was his store. He owned it. Not only was it his store and that he owned it, but he was like around 21 years old, and he was in college for, I don't know if it was something with computers or if it was for philosophy. Or something, but he showed me his journal and kind of how he ran his life and how efficient he was and everything that he did, and like not a single moment was wasted. And so instead of sitting there looking at this kid and going, man, this kid is he's an ideologue, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, he had so much to back it up to where I'm sitting there, I'm going, you know what? This kid is where I wish I was at his age. I would have had a different life. I probably would have had a lot more drive and had a lot more success than what I already do. Because this kid just kind of like, it's like the difference between enlisted and special forces. I mean, that's kind of how much of a difference it was, between me and that guy. Okay, so it just. That changed my view and kind of how I started being on the channel, because every time I would start complaining and every time I would think, oh, woe is me, my channel's, I'm not getting the views I want, I'm not getting this I want, I'm not getting this, and I'm not getting that. And and the thing is I was gaining subscribers, but I was bleeding subscribers just as bad. And so I was having minimal growth to the channel because all I was doing was just whining and complaining. Well, once I turned my attitude around after talking to this dude, it's kind of like, that's when I got to Chattanooga, and then that's when I got here to Cincinnati. And really, when I got here I started when I was in Chattanooga, but it kind of really took off when I got here to Cincinnati, because I started honing in my message. Okay, but I was only here for a couple of months, and as soon as I get down south, my channel, some of the videos that I had done, that the YouTube algorithm had finally gone through and like digested, and finally was starting to put out to the right people, so that it could spread the word as spread the word of Tuck. We'll call it that. So, it's just I've seen a lot of this, and not only that, I'm getting to work with the homeless entrepreneurs. Now, I am getting warned, oh, it's an NGO. Yeah, okay. Well, here's the thing. This is one of those I'm going to have to experience to understand why it may not be such a good idea, but I think it's a good idea for the circumstances situation I'm in. And, you got to look at the world this way. And I think that we want to put a uniform cookie cutter, like we're all the same, application to things, and this doesn't work in homelessness. It doesn't work in anything, because I'm going to need a different application of benefits and resources to get back up on my feet, to become a more productive member of society, than the guy that shuffles along here and then goes over in the corner and smokes his crack pipe. He needs a whole different set of assistance. Okay, so to be able to sit out there and go, oh yeah, all we need to do is this. All we need to do is put him in a house, and then, oh, well, that ends homelessness because they're all in a house. So, but we're still dealing with the same crap, because nothing ever changed other than the fact that we just changed the environment from unhoused to housed, to say, woohoo, pat ourselves on the back, we ended homeless because we put everybody in a house. Okay, is that really going to work? In some instances, and in a lot of instances, it does work. But it doesn't work for some people, because certain people need certain types of help. In the same sense of, let's talk about a reverse mortgage, because being in the financial services industry like I was, for a long time I was against a reverse mortgage, and here's why I do not like reverse mortgages. Okay, the reason why I don't like reverse mortgages is because when the homeowner passes away, okay, so they get the money, great, that's fantastic, that's a great thing. But when the homeowner passes away, you cannot take a loan out to buy that property. You have to have cash to pay off that property, and pay it off in full. You've got like 30, 60, maybe 90 days to pay it. Otherwise, it gets possessed by the bank, and the bank is going to go out and sell it for a profit because, housing market went up, inflation went up. So therefore, the house is worth more. And so da 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 da. Okay. I disagree with that portion because I am a proponent of generational wealth. So on my dad's side of the family, it's all military. Okay, 10 generations. On my mom's side of the family, it's old money, where my great grandfather had a porcelain doll shop, and when my grandfather went into the Navy, came out, he started businesses. And the thing is you would get the knowledge, the expertise, the experience growing up, but your family really wouldn't help you out very much because you were expected to do it on your own. Okay. And that was something that I was expected of me. And that's part of the reason why I have this entrepreneurial spirit, is because that was part of what was brought in me. And my grandfather even told me, out of 23 grandchildren, I'm the only one that wasn't a POS, because I was the only one that was taking what was passed down to me and running with it. It just, so, again, going back to the story of what's it called, reverse mortgages. Okay, will a reverse mortgage work? Well, do you like your kids or do you not like your kids? If you don't like your kids and you don't care that it stays in the family, that you want it to go and you just want it for you and screw the family, well then yeah, you know what, a reverse mortgage is for you. Okay, but if you are a proponent of generational wealth, if you think that being able to have something to pass down to your posterity, it doesn't matter how small or how big it is, because it's something to build on. And if you teach your children that from the beginning, that what they're getting is going to be handed down to them, and they are expected to carry on the family torch and build upon that, then that's how you build generational wealth. And so, that's how my grandfather became a multimillionaire, because his father taught him how to be in business, and he went started businesses and invested, and he just happened to have quite a bit of luck. Okay, but he put everything in a trust and handed it down to my aunts and uncles, and they all squandered it and sold it off anyways. But again, he didn't pass that knowledge down to the next generation. He expected the next generation to pick it up, and I think that is the big problem between the greatest generation and the current generation, is that when you were a kid, you were expected to be seen and not heard. When my grandfather was growing up, what does that mean? Well, that means that you better be watching, observing, participating, but you just do it in a side manner, because this is your knowledge. You are learning how to be part of the family by observing part of the family. Okay. But and so my grandfather expected that, and I guess that's kind of why I turned out the way I did, is because my mom kind of enforced that seen and not heard mentality on me. So I always sat back and I watched the adults and kind of watched what they did and figured it out from there. Watching my grandfather was one of the most fascinating things. Both of my grandfathers are probably two of the most fascinating people I ever met. And it just, again, there's no simple solution for every individual person. Okay, you have to have the flexibility to be able to offer a range of solutions based upon the specific situation. So, like, if the government were to be a utopian government and would be looking, okay, what is the situation that we can do to assist Tuck? Okay, well, one, let's just say they want to put me in a house. Well, is that going to, if they house me up, is that going to help me or is that going to hurt me? Okay, because my channel is based upon homelessness. My channel is based upon teaching people how to be homeless, advocating for the homeless, and explaining homelessness to those who want to learn what our lifestyle is like and why we're here, and the positive parts of the lifestyle, and then it's not all drugs and mental health. Okay, so so if I were to get something like that, a roof over my head, how would that affect what it is that I'm building? Would it take away from my authority? Would it take away from my credibility? Something like that. But if I had, somebody to, watch my dog for a couple of hours a day, while I went and worked, but then took my dog down to the dog park so that I could sit there and focus and not worry about Sam, and probably have a more efficient schedule, be more productive. Something like that might be more helpful than putting a roof over my head. So to say, oh, well, we need to help you, we need to put you in a house, is that necessarily going to assist me? Okay, now the process in which I'm going through right now to get housed, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because it allows me the opportunity to create content, because there are those that are in the urban homeless situation that want to learn, or that want to have hope to know that they can get housed while they get back up on their feet. And what they're going to need is maybe a voucher. So some of the things that I hear about from some of those that have gotten housed here is that you basically get a place for 1 year. And at the end of that year, you have to have gotten all your stuff together, and so on and so forth. If you don't, you go back outside. Okay, and it's going to be much harder going back out because you know that you screwed it up. Okay, and there are people that keep going through that cycle, and every few years they get housed up, but that is very rare. Okay, so it looks like I'm losing a lot of viewers. Am I being too loud? Okay, so but anyways, that is my rant and share today. So and I hope. Speaking of rant and share, I want to be able to throw a special shout out to Tomcat and to Joe Morgan. They both became homeless today. They both went out to the shelter today, and Tomcat was talking about doing van life, but I know that Joe was going to the Boise shelter, and so if you guys are in that area, you guys can offer some, whether it be moral support or assistance in some way. They both have YouTube channels, and they are both about to lose everything as well, or they already have, and they're starting over. So these guys are going to need some positive reinforcement, and I want to be able to ask you guys to give them some form of positive reinforcement. Even go over in their channel and just, hey, we're cheering for you, okay? Because when you first have to re-enter homelessness, it is probably one of the hardest things for you to do. Okay, it really is. Even if you've done it multiple times, yeah, you're used to it. You know the environment. You know what to look for. You know what to do. You got all this stuff down, but it's still, the transition is still a little unnerving. It's still a little shocking, and that is really what these guys are going to go through, because they've been homeless before. It's not their first rodeo, and having that moral support of people just being there saying, "Hey, thinking of you. We're rooting for you. Everything's going to be good. Whatever." Moral support will go a long way to not only pushing them in the right direction, because now you have something positive to cling on to. And when you're homeless, I think one of the hardest things that you can deal with is you don't get very many positives to cling to, because it's a miserable, barbaric process that happens. Because if I'm okay with it because it's been my normal for so many years, but the average person isn't okay with it. The average person looks at this and goes, well, this is barbaric. And in our modern society, yes, it is barbaric, okay? But on the other hand, this is the society that we chose to create. We have chose to prioritize profit over humanity. We have chosen wealth and prosperity for a few instead of for all, and we get to see that consequence. And there is a small group of people that are masters at exploiting everything around them, including us. And we fall for it because we're dumb enough to believe what we're being told, okay? But in reality, when it comes to homelessness, it's our normal, but it shouldn't be normal, okay? But I also think I don't mind it. I sleep just fine out here in this little cubby hole every night. I do just fine doing what I do because I choose my own destiny. Okay, and that is where you look at the obstacle and you say, hey, this is my opportunity. Remake myself, turn over a new leaf, build something new, be a phoenix. Okay, so all right. Okay, so yeah, piece cover, not bad. Okay, sent you a link for the mic. Sam's cool. Okay, here we go. My belief is your channel is doing well because we love you and want you to succeed. Yes, you do. And I gotta say, I love y'all back. We have found the lost gospel of Tuck. I like that one. I like that one. We found the lost gospel. You know, I need to... I really suck at being creative, okay? I am not a creative person. I am a technical person. I am a mechanical person. You give me something to work on, and give me a chain of operations or chain reaction. I can figure it out pretty quick. Even though I was never taught anything about mechanics, when I went to the recruiters, the Marine Corps was like had a major hard-on for me to be a mechanic. They're like, look, that is where your aptitude is. That's what you're good at. And I'm like, no, I want to be an infantryman. Screw this. I don't want to work on the vehicles. I want to go out there and get blown up. I mean, that's what I wanted. When you're older, you find out exactly how stupid that is. But when you're younger, you think it's funny. Anyways, it's just okay. So, anyways, back to this. Okay, so going back to the beginning, I'll catch up. Hey, Jeremy, nice to see you, man. Rip Hobo Shoestring. Yes, I heard. What has happened in the investigation to Kind? Do you know? So, hey, what's up, Outdoors? Hey, Big Buzz. No, I'm not albino. Okay, you're homeless. Yeah, you black. I'm black. Okay, whatever. I'm in the desert of California. Can't even get a tooth extraction because I'm poor and homeless. Go to your local medical clinic. Okay, your local medical clinic. It's usually something equivalent to Doctors Without Borders, but a domestic thing. They have them all over the place. Okay, there's with the Affordable Care Act, there is a lot more free healthcare for the homeless. When you go there, they will be able to refer you and tell you where you can go and get a tooth extraction, and they may even be able to assist in the funding. Okay, so try that. That's at least a good place to go. So I was raised by my great-grandparents, and oh man, that must have been something else. Did you ask them what the Civil War was like? So, okay, would see, okay, go to free clinic. Yeah, well, you know what? It's easy to say, yeah, go to a free clinic. There didn't used to be free clinics. Free clinics are something new in the last 5 years. Okay, free clinics didn't used to be a normal thing. It was rare. You had to go to like a liberal city to be able to get a free clinic. Up until that point, it was hit and miss. And like, okay, I went to being in Dallas, going to the Dallas Life Foundation. So, are you guys still able to hear me well? I hope so. Okay, but I went to the Dallas Life Foundation, right? And as part of the program that I was in, I had to go seek out mental health. The guy, the quack doctor that was running that damn show was diagnosing everybody with bipolar, and if you weren't bipolar, you were schizophrenic. He just bipolar, schizophrenic, bipolar. Oh, it's schizophrenic. Like there was only 2 diagnoses this guy ever gave. And so he was just popping people full of pills. You're either bipolar or you're schizophrenic, or there's no reason for you to be homeless, because those are the only 2 reasons why you'd ever be homeless. That's what the medical system used to be like. Now you've got trained doctors that are coming out of college, building their reputation, that want to do good in society, and so they work at a free clinic for less pay than what they would normally get. Okay, with twice the workload and no real relief in sight. Okay, so I mean, you gotta pat the doctors now and the clinics now. You gotta pat them on the back, because it used to be something you'd hear about in a third world country. Okay, so See, Sam is doing really good. You saw a dog and you stayed. Okay, so that's one of the things I'm working on with Sam. Okay. Um, Okay, so they're both very good people in unfortunate circumstances. Yes, they are. Okay, I've called everyone in my area. Don't have funds for or a vehicle. I have a dog also. It's $90 initial exam. Who knows how much to extract the tooth. Okay, I called our area and don't have funds. I have a dog, no vehicle and a dog. Okay, um, that's a unique situation in some ways. Uh, do you do you have people you can trust that you might want to leave your dog with? Okay, and they're gonna need to watch your dog for a couple of days because you might be delirious, especially if they really dope your ass up. Um, I mean that's a unique situation. If you don't have somebody that you can trust, maybe if you feel comfortable enough with your dog and you can trust your dog, then bring your dog along. Do what you got to do. So this is the way the U.S. has always been, but the rest of the world is more savage than the most part. Maybe, possibly. The clove oil usually helps stop the pain sometimes. Permanently, not medical advice. So yes, actually, if you go through doTERRA, it's about $33. Okay, for about I think it's a 15 milliliter bottle of On Guard. Okay, it's their special blend. Only doTERRA makes it. DOTERRA. I used to be a distributor with them, and I used to use their products there. Their cleaning concentrate. That right there, like I used to use that for my business. That you want to talk about some of them, and what it does to your glass, just phenomenal. Their cleaning concentrate. You get like 80 spray bottles out of like a little $15 bottle of concentrate, because you only put like 2 tablespoons in, and man, the smell is awesome. But anyways, they have a blend, and they for the oil it's $33. And before I ran out, that's actually with my abscess. That's how I dealt with it and kept it down and never had to go to the doctor. The second I ran out of it was when I had to start going to the doctor. And I've learned how to deal with it without the ointment and without doctors. And now, sometimes when it starts to get high, I just what I've learned is that rice and water are pretty much, just go to a rice and water diet for a few days, and that'll take an abscess down. Okay, so caught up, Sam doing with her digestive system. Let's see, how's she doing? She's doing fine. She ended up the other day, she ended up taking like 4 craps. It was like, dude, dog, will you ever stop? But the thing is, she gets plenty of time. She's just like, I haven't found the right spot. She's my little princess in the pea. So, all right, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, Rugsy. All right, so usually extracting a tooth from upper jaw is not difficult, but from lower jaw more difficult. Prayers and blessings. Oh, okay. I've only had 1 tooth removed, and I think it was my upper jaw. It was a wisdom tooth. They should have removed all 4 of them, but they only removed 1. And I don't think I would have ever even had an abscess if I'd have gotten those other 3 taken out. Plus, it would have saved me fucking years of tooth pain. So, because I've never had the chance to because like I said, they never offered free clinics or anything else like that. Okay, so it kind of sucks it sucked back then, but at least things are getting better now. So, but anyways, so do you guys? I've kind of talked a lot. It sounds like the mic is working fine. I'm looking forward to listening to the replay so that I can understand how to fluctuate my voice. Rugsy, I'm gonna look into getting that other piece. Hey, if you want to help out the channel, you could always leave a tip down in the tip jar. Everything's down in the description. So for those of you that are leaving tips in my tip jar, I know that things have changed. I've taken away the PayPal link in a lot of the content, and I've been going through as I've been rewriting it and redoing that. So and this is what I was explaining to a friend last night. It's like, okay, if you go through PayPal, I'm paying anywhere from like 20 to 25% of whatever you send me. So if you send me $25, I maybe get like $20, 21 tops. Okay, So they take such a large chunk. Okay, and then I got to pay to have it transferred into my account. Okay, and so therefore it starts costing a lot of money. Whereas and people don't like PayPal because of what it did to the truckers, and people are a little skeptical of Cash App. But you got to realize, like, Cash App, for every $10, it costs me 25 cents versus, so for that same $25, I would pay, like, maybe, let's say, 84 cents for $25 versus like getting, like, there's a big difference. There's like a $3 difference, okay? Just because you go through Cash App. And it's much less expensive. More of it gets to me, less of it goes to the corporation, okay? But if you decide to go through my website and do it, and I'm waiting for the first person to be the first person to go over my website and to be able to put in, so you get to choose whatever amount you want. And it's a one-time thing. You cannot set up recurring payments. I'm not set up for it, but it's through a merchant. So, like, when you go into the grocery store and you swipe your card, well, they have to have a merchant company that processes all those credit cards. And what they do is they put it in a pool and then they deposit in your bank account. They take the credit card fee, because each credit card, depending upon the logo, the maker, the brand, and all this other stuff, so Visa is, like, let's say average is 2.2, but it'll go as high as 3 and as low as 1.5, depending upon, like, is it a Capital One card or whatever. You're paying the most for American Express, which is like 3 to 5%. Okay, which American Express is like the costliest card to ever run. So if you ever run something like that for a merchant and they have the opportunity for leaving a tip, you should leave at least a couple dollar tip, because the most expensive card to run is an American Express. Okay, a lot of companies won't take American Express because of that. But anyways. But going through it, but the processing system that I have there that you would be going is the same way as if you were doing it through a grocery store. Okay, it is part of the package that I bought through GoDaddy. Okay, so you do have the opportunity to be able to do that, and it'll deposit in my account, and I will pay anywhere from 1.5% to 3% versus 15 to 25% of whatever it is that you send me, and it'll get directly deposited in my bank account. I don't even have to worry about it, because it's all automated, because every night at a certain time it will deposit whatever funds are processed into my bank account. So it makes it very easy. If I don't have to keep tabs on it like I do with, like, my PayPal and my Cash App, because I have to keep looking, okay, did somebody, no, okay, cool, and just I got to keep tabs on it, versus this does it all for me. So if you're going to leave me a tip in the tip jar, Cash App, if you want to go through that, but I would really like it if you went, because Cash App's the cheapest. Out of all of them, including the payment processor, Cash App is the cheapest. The next one is going through my website. And again, even if it's for like $1 or $2, I would like to test it out. I have not had anybody put a tip in the tip jar through there. So, just so that I can see how it gets deposited in my account. Usually, yeah. But anyways, it would be something much appreciated for that, and then I can report back and let you know if there's any bugs, or if I need to take it out until I fix what's going on with it. But as things go along, so now the channel. Okay, so let me catch up here. So tooth infections. Okay. Mic working fine. There's sometimes filters and software one can fiddle with cutoffs, noise suppressors. Yeah, but you got to realize I'm using an app on my phone. It's much different than using a desktop. Okay, it really is. It is. Yeah, it's the desktop. But okay, so are you eating any extra vitamins and minerals? I wonder. My poor years while studying sadly gave me bad teeth too. I was raised on junk food and Taco Bell. Okay, that's why I've always had a problem with weight. Getting food stamps here, I end up spending it on my sweet tooth. I'm actually in the process, and it'll probably be next month, because I had some funds that usually come in on a regular basis that didn't come in like it usually does, and it might come in. It might come in the next couple days. I don't know. It might not. But there's usually some funds that normally come in, and they just didn't come in. So I was going to use that to buy a cook set and a water filter, so I could me and Sam could go out on trail when my food stamps come back in on the 15th. And do something like that, because I want to get out. I need a break from the city. Sam needs a break from the city. I need to let her run a little bit. I want to be able to just kind of sit there and relax for maybe we'll take a week, and we'll just start turning it into, okay, we've got a productive vacation. Okay, so we're gonna go out on a trail. We're gonna show you the trail. We're gonna have conversations, not only about trail and nature and stuff like that, but homelessness. And we're gonna stick on topic, of course. But sometimes, just like I did that video on finding a place of solitude for finding a place of solitude for to have some peaceful time. You don't really. This is the thing about Cincinnati is it's a lot like San Francisco. San Francisco is a city on top of itself. There's very little. It's all pretty much concrete jungle. At least the parts of it that I've explored. Now I need to get out and start exploring and stuff like that. But I keep getting myself into a routine because I'm trying to get momentum. And I want to, now that this month is finished, next month is starting. Now I can start the next phase. So each month I'm gonna kind of keep adding to or making adjustments to what I'm doing, because there's an old saying in sales: what you do for this 90 days, your first 90 days is your next 90 days, or something like that. So what you do in this for this period of time. Thank you guys for the love. What you do in this period of time, for the next 90 days is going to, like, you won't get the results for this 90 days until the next 90 days. It's an old sales understanding. That's why you worked hard, and people will be like, "Oh, you didn't make money." It's it's a 90-day cycle, because you got to build momentum, and in order to build the momentum, you've got to, you've got to do basics. And sometimes what happens, especially in sales, is you get this whole pizzazz, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm real fancy," da 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 da, and then you fall flat on your face. Your sales fall flat on your face because you're too busy trying to be a fancy salesman instead of just being a salesman. People don't buy from you because they want, need, or like your product. They buy from you because they like you, because they see what you're doing and they approve of it, and they can see a use for it in their life. So even though it's not something they really wanted, but hey, they like you. You're a cool dude. So yeah, here, let me sign a contract and buy. So. It's something that I'm learning. Okay, so if you accept digital identification CBDC, do you have any idea how to survive? Well, see, okay, Greg, this is a perfect question to answer. All right, now let me take a drink real quick. But so let me look at the question again. Okay, this is what I've been talking about. Homelessness has to change with the digital economy. The world has to change with the digital economy. Okay, how are the homeless going to make money? Well, you can start a YouTube channel. You can put your creative acts together. You can build something. You can do something. Even if it's just, you sit there and rank short stories and say, hey, if you like the story, make a donation, and those that are good and stuff like that, it'll be a different way of making money. Who's going to hold a cardboard sign that says Cash App, hashtag Friar Tuck 81? Okay, first of all. Second of all, nobody's looking at your damn sign anyways. Most people don't even read your sign unless it's something short that says "too ugly to prostitute." That's short enough to where you can process it. But I've sat there and I've tried to read it. You just can't. You can't. There's no point in putting a lot of crap on your sign. Something short, something simple. Need food, please help, God bless. Okay. What else? Too ugly to prostitute. Lost my weed in a series of small fires, please help. Something short. And those are the ones that are popular and that people will actually read and interact with. But most people, they see the sign or they see the person. I don't even fly a sign. I just sit here in this alcove, and like Friday, Saturday night, like people come by and just, here's I'm sure you heard that. But people just randomly go, here's $20. I'm like, cool. I got coffee money for like the next 3 days. You know, it's simple things like that. I mean, you don't really have to. So if people want to come up and help you, they're going to come up and they're going to help you. Now, it may require, hey, what is your hashtag? And you might need to have your QR code on the ready. Here, scan the hashtag or the QR code. And people will walk by and do that. So when homelessness is going to change the way that you panhandle, and you're going to have to form a relationship with the homeless person person's going to have to form a relationship with you, because it becomes more transactional than just like a throw $1 and run away. Okay, you're not, here's $1, keep walking. It's okay, yeah, here, let me scan, let me send you $3.42, whatever. That'll buy you your coffee, whatever. It's gonna change the way homelessness is, and so people think, no, the homeless are creative enough. They know if you tell them, here's how you to make money. Now the old people, they're just gonna sit there and go with their hand down until they starve to death. It's some people there's a reason why you have homeless, because those are also the people that were left behind in this whole technological revolution that we have. Okay, they're people that refuse to adapt and assimilate. Not only do we have problems with foreigners assimilating, but we have problems with our own locals assimilating. Okay, so let's see here. Filter is a good idea. Okay, you can boil the water. Yes, you can. Filter is faster. Yes, it is. You know what though? The filter I really want. Crap! I keep forgetting to do this. Okay, so I forgot to do this. I will do this tomorrow. I'll put it on my task of to do on my to-do list. Okay, but I need to put up my Amazon wish list, because I have a reverse osmosis water filter in there. It's something that's portable. It's a little heavy, but it is definitely. I mean, for something on Amazon, it's $100. So something I learned is, like with price points, if it seems too cheap, then it's probably cheap. But if it's in middle range, then you're doing good. So $100 for a portable reverse osmosis filter. And it has a lot of good reviews and stuff like that. I think it's a good place to start and to test out. And if it does actually work, I mean, it's a bargain. It's a bargain, and it works. How long is it going to work, or how much upkeep you're going to have to pay replacing filters or whatever on it? Can you find the filters? Can you do the filters naturally? But that's what I would really, really like to get is I'd like to get that reverse osmosis one, because then I will never have to worry about it, because it's going to take the odors, it's going to take everything out of the water. It's going to clean it. So even when you go into non-potable water, you can use this system, or if you go into brackish water, you can use this system, which means it's versatile. And you want something, if you're going to be bugging out, if you're going to be traveling, you need to have something that's versatile. Not only something that works in clean water, but something that works in brackish water, something that works in non-potable water. Okay, and that's one of the things that I strongly recommend if you're going to look into a water filter. But anyways, it's on my Walmart wish list. I would love to review it and put it up as an affiliate link, because I'm sure a lot of people would end up getting it, because I think it's a smart buy. Okay, so what's up, Cherokee? For $100, I'd really look at the gray. Hey, will you send that to me in? You know the various ways to send it to me. So if you would send me a link to that so I can look at it, because I won't remember it once we get off the live stream. My memory just isn't that good. So I got Life Straw filter. I don't like it so much. Yeah, I wouldn't like it either. I mean, I gotta lay on my belly to drink water. That's why I like the. If you're gonna do, and there is a knockoff that's about half the price of the Sawyer filter. It has the same specs, same everything. Just it's not the brand name. It's about half of that. They were running it. It went out of stock. I never got a chance to buy it, but it was like $15 versus $30. And the thing is even if it's gravity fed or something, you just want something to where you can use it while on the move. So I mean, that's why like the Sawyer water filter comes with the little bags. Let me see. Well, no, you guys have seen plenty of Sawyer water filters, especially if you're a prepper. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. But the little 32 ounce bags, you know, you fill a couple of them up in a stream as you go along, and you hit the dry spots. You can just sit there and filter it on the go. That's what you really need, because a life straw, I mean, that's like, what if you're in the middle of the freaking desert? You know, I mean, well, there's a lot more going on than that then if you're in the desert, because then you got to find a hole to dig to get the water to begin with, because apparently the water's on the surface. But anyways, all right. Always pre-filter too with the sock. My socks are never clean enough. Handkerchief, something. Yeah, I don't do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, the back thing is good. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But I like my cola for $1.50. Not bad for a 24-ounce soda. Yeah. Now I know it's cola, but you know, which is pretty much the same gut rot as RC cola. Quite frankly, growing up, my two favorite sodas, and I had to develop a taste for RC, but I loved RC and I loved Jolt. You can't find Jolt anymore. And like when I was in high school, I lived on 1 hour of sleep a night, because I'd sneak out my window till about 4 or 5 a.m. With my best friend, and we go to the arcade, we go do all kinds of stuff, you know, late at night, and then come back after, you know, we were done playing around, having fun. And then we would go to the store, and I'd get a Mega Jolt because I needed like twice the caffeine, and powdered donuts, and that's how I survived my junior/senior year in high school. So. For those of you that don't know, I actually graduated high school. I tell people I graduated high school in 2 years because I got 1 credit my freshman year. I flunked out. The only credit I got was PE because I liked being active. So I didn't get any credits my freshman year except for 1 for PE. And so my sophomore year, I took my sophomore classes. I tested out of my freshman classes, and then I tested out of my senior classes. And like English, though, I had to take in person because I wasn't good at English. I sucked at English. I was great at math, but I sucked at English. So, but yeah, I graduated high school in like 2 years. So, Metallica, Harvester Sorrow. Okay, was okay, best song of the show. I was 21 years old when this went down. Okay, million people. Okay. Amazing what many people in one spot look like. Okay, so wow, 9/28/91. Okay, Metallica concert. Yeah, that must have been something else. Man, Metallica, I don't know. Once they did, what was it, Sandman? That's kind of when they went downhill. They stopped being rock and they started being like what we used to call something like sissy rock or something like that, because it's like Dropkick Murphys does a perfect song, kind of depicting what 90s rock was, and it's called Wicked Sensitive Crew. You should probably listen to it. So it's one of my favorite songs. But we would call them soy boys now. So because it was just like it stopped being rock and just became something lighter. But anyways, the latest album with Tomorrow Never Comes is different. Yes, that one was their original stuff. These guys come by every night. But the original stuff that I used to listen to, so my aunt had, I think it was like a 78 or a 76 Camaro. I mean, totally souped up because she dated mechanics and guys that really like to soup up their muscle cars. And we would be driving down the road. I'd be in the back seat, of course, because I was like 5 years old. And they'd be playing Metallica. Now, like, that was the rock I grew up on. Like, when I think of rock, that's what I think of. But then when I hear Metallica in the 90s, I'm like, it's almost like it became a joke. So, only boomers that would play the show was AC/DC. Gen X had to pick up the slack. Okay, so you have mustard on your beard. Do I really? Huh. Oh well, I didn't even have mustard today. Must be leftovers. I get hungry in the middle of the night. It's just something to chew on. So, Jolt Cola and many thins. That's how I worked 2 full-time jobs and cooked and took 15 credit hours my fresh. Holy shit, that's a lot. I mean, 2 jobs and man, I thought okay. I was a weenie in college. Okay. Well, I think of myself as a weenie, but that was because I got called a weenie. Uh, so me and my sleep. So for after my work accident when I was 19 till I was about 23, 24, I never got more than maybe an hour's sleep a night. It really, really, really sucked. So I became very, very protective of my sleep. Like I would literally like because if you woke me up, I couldn't go back to sleep. So if I fell asleep for 5 minutes, I was up until the next day I could fall asleep, and it really, really, really sucked. So, um, so anyways, where was I going with that? Yeah, okay. Oh, college. Yes. So, anyways, I'm like 28 years old now. I am in a technical school, going to school for network administration, and uh, I had a job and I was paying rent and I was going to school full time, but my school was at night. My job was at like 3 a.m. in the morning. I had, because I didn't have a car, I had to take a bus and like maybe get a 2 hour nap in the break room if they didn't wake me up and tell me, oh, you can't sleep on the job, even though I was waiting to clock in at 4 a.m. before any bus started. And so like about every third day I would get probably about 4 or 5 hours sleep. I went into my career services lady. I said, I need some help, man. I can't do this. Either I need to quit school or I need to quit the job. And if I quit the job, I don't have a roof over my head. And she says, you can sleep when you're dead. And I'm like, okay. And so like I never complained the rest of the time through school. So the ground must have shook. Okay, I'd sleep remotely when possible. Okay. Hope you got some time to keep you safe while you sleep. Um, no, I haven't. I wanted to, but again, there was some funds that I had planned on doing that with that just didn't come in when they normally did. So I haven't been able to order that because that was also on my list of things to get. I wanted to get the Walmart Ozark Trail knife just to start with, to kind of have something to begin with, and then kind of use it as practice, figure out what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then step myself up to a couple of different knives as time goes along. Okay, I like this because it does this, it does that, and this is what I need it for, and I want something that's easier to pull out and to be able to do this. So it's going to take some time to configure because I want the gear that I have, and when you're homeless, you will, if you ever become homeless, this is something that you will do that will be par for the course. You're gonna cycle through a lot of gear, okay? I have cycled through so much gear, but you have that gear that I'm not getting rid of, I don't care, and if it breaks down, I'm gonna replace it. Sam's sleeping bag is that, my sleeping bag is that, my hammock is that, okay? My phone, my phone is that, but it just, when you are homeless, you find gear that fits you, fits what you want, and then you just keep it, okay? But you're constantly cycling through gear until you find something that you want, okay? And so like that's what I'm gonna do with the knife. That's what I've been doing with everything. I don't like this backpack. It is a good backpack, but for some reason either I'm too rough on my stuff or because there's a couple of cigarette burns in there. But outside of that, I've got some other holes in it, and I need to either get me. I've been looking at getting me a 40-liter pack because as long as I'm urban, I don't really need that much to carry, and it'll be a lot easier to go in and out of businesses with, and to kind of blend in the city. But I still need to be able to keep my keep this bag, or at least get a replacement. But I think that the next because I think that this will last me another year, maybe year and a half. But the waistband, the waistband, it's already. I've got to go back in and reinforce the thread and re-sew it. I just haven't done it. I got to sew up my sleeping bag too. But I got to sew up some things on it because it's really kind of it's starting to fall apart. Part of it is just from weight. But you got to realize whether you're hiking or whether you're living out of your backpack, you're going to have some weight in there, and I don't think that Teton really accounted for it, or it was a cost-cutting measure thinking, oh, it'll work because it's not being used for anything other than maybe hiking a couple of months out of the year. Okay, so therefore, in the last 5-10 years, when in reality, if you had to use it every day, it might last you a year, or one transcontinental trail. Okay, so let's check how long. Okay, the only thing that beats price-wise. Okay, yeah, the only thing that beats the Mora price-wise is the Hallerfutter's knife. Okay. Like a building, they make the people look so small. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of keeping up on the side conversations going on, but I don't think the other group, those that are going to watch this in post, are really going to know what's going on. Okay, so do any of you guys have any questions about what's going on? Anything else like that? Any homeless questions? Anything that I can answer for you, and maybe even some content ideas. Okay. I do have a question for you, and I might put it up as a poll too, because you guys have been doing a really good job, and I got to say thank you very much to all of you guys that keep voting in my polls, because I'm having trouble making the right titles. Part of the reason why I'm not succeeding as far as views go is because of titles. When I put that first one up there where I asked you, I got like 41 or 59 votes or something like that. And it was you guys chose the right title, which then, because you guys are the ones that are going to be clicking on it anyways, and so therefore now that video has got like over 1,000 views. Okay, that's my first video this month that actually has 1,000 views on it. Okay, it is actually the most successful video I've had. So I may be, when I have trouble running into some of this, I may be asking you guys, this title or this title, to see which way it goes. But also what it does is it is a sales technique, because what I am doing is I'm conditioning you to choose a title so that when you see it, you're going to want to watch it anyways. So there is some psychology that's going on in all this. I got to laugh at that, because I really wasn't the intent, but I kind of knew that was an indirect effect. Something that you guys might not know is that if you do, so I have something around 3 years of direct sales experience. What is direct sales? That means I went and knocked on your door. Hi, my name's Jason. I'm from Kirby Company. We want to do a carpet shampoo in one room for you for free. All you got to do is just sit back, watch my machine. I'll sit there and do everything. All you got to do is sit and watch. Hold this coupon. I'll be right back. Come back. Come in there. Shampoo is square. Get them pissed off at you because they're not going to buy. They have that big old square. You walk away because they kicked you out of the house because you wouldn't stop trying to sell them something. And then like about 2 weeks later, they're like, we've called in professionals, spent thousands of dollars. We can't get it to look that good. Can you come back and finish shampooing? And yeah, we'd like to buy one of those, please. Again, sales techniques. But the thing is when you when you knock on a door or you are going to people directly, it requires a knowledge of human psychology, a knowledge of human behavior. And they say that one year in direct sales is equivalent to a bachelor's, and I think either 2 or 3 years is equivalent to a master's degree in psychology. So you got to realize, like, when I see things, when I hear things, when I'm talking about things, part of that is still going through my head, because when you're in sales, you're playing. You don't realize it, but you do play a mind game a little bit. You're using psychological hacks, just like if you use Coke on a rusty bolt, okay, it'll deoxidize it. Okay, it's the same. It's a tool to be able to accomplish a goal. And so you have things like fear of missing out, keeping up with the Joneses. So hey, yeah, your neighbor next door just said he just bought one. He said you'd be interested too. So you want to take a look at it? Yeah, cool. Oh, Jerry next door bought it. Great. Or there's neighborhood competitions going on. So you have that one guy in the neighborhood, and if you find him, he's the one that's competing to outdo everybody, and so you get a couple of guys around the neighborhood that get what you're buying, and then you find him, and he's going to buy 3 of them just so he can outdo everybody, because there's just the neighborhood competition, and it's the way that you're taught to sell things. Now, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's moral or immoral, that is a whole different discussion, and that's something that I pondered and thought about. Because it's like, it's like when you have the power, the knowledge to be able to mentally and emotionally massage someone. Under what instances do you do it and it's okay? At what instances does it become a violation of either trust or person? You got to really ask yourself that question. But those guys that have done like real sales, that went and hustled, worked on 100% commission, and made a living off of that. And did it for years. Those are the guys that really have. Those are going to be your best salesmen. Those are going to be your best marketers. Those are going to be the people that are going to be the most charismatic and the people that can gain a following. Which is, I think, part of the other reason. Because you guys love me, but the reason why you love me is because of the skills that I have acquired that has allowed me to portray the version of who I am appropriately and properly to you guys, if that makes any sense. Okay, so, but I always like to get into the deep thinking things. It's like, are we a molecule within a molecule? You get high, you sit back, you smoke a bowl, you're like, what's that one, Dr. Seuss one, where he goes into the raindrop and just gets miniaturized, and it's the same it's just a smaller world of everything. So like the Russian dolls of worlds. I mean, are we a universe in a universe in a universe? It's just a molecule, I wonder how many people are going to leave a post comment about that. Anyways, before I get too far off and kind of weird you guys out, okay, I was Wazoo. Whetstone necklace because I had a dull edge. Whetstone necklace. Okay. I've. If any of you guys want some, I think that I made it public, but the gentleman, he was a Marine. He was a machine gunner. He was on the wall at Gitmo. He talks about tactical. Like siege training, and so that was what I titled the video. But he actually kind of showed us how he does sharpening of his knife and stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's what everybody else does. But for anybody that needs a tutorial on that, if they can't find one or wants to see what I have to offer, I do have that back in my archive somewhere. So you might be able to find that. Okay. So anyways, but. All right, guys, so we have gone over an hour. You guys are doing good at this. You guys are getting good at getting me to talk. I look forward to the live stream. So anyways, it seems like, what do you guys think? Well, I'm going to have to, okay, what kind of design, if I said, kind of like, do a shirt that maybe has my logo with wraparound words that says Friar Tuck or Friar Tuck, where everyone knows your name. What do you guys think? Just Feo. Yes, Feo is good for being from Mexico. And Corona tastes different down in Mexico than it does here in the United States. It actually tastes better here in the States. Actually, I like the taste of Corona in the States. So, all right, guys. So, my battery's getting low. I need to get Sam set up because I'm surprised she's not over here. Okay, for all of you that want to see Sam, we're going to make this a tradition. There she is on her sleeping bag, as you can see. Yeah, she's been doing this the whole live stream. Yeah, I took her to the river today. Oh, before I end this live stream, I want to tell you a cool story. I don't judge me, okay? That's all I gotta say. Don't judge me. I am a man. So Sam and I were down at the river, and I was throwing a stick out for her, and she'd go out to the river, and this lady walks up, and she and I get to talking, and I think she kind of likes me because she went like that, and that's kind of what a woman does when she's excited, because we were talking about like what time she comes down, and then I'll probably be there and I might say hi to her. We might get to meet up again and stuff like that, because we had a nice decent conversation, mostly of me talking, of course, because I wouldn't shut up. She caught me in the middle of smoking a bowl. I was like, and so when I do that, I tend to get really chatty, and so I just, if I ever have to be around her, not stoned, it's gonna be kind of funny, because I won't have anything to say. I'll be like, so, but anyways, yeah, I don't know. She's a pretty cool lady though. She liked Sam. Sam absolutely loved her. All that stuff. But yeah. So I've got something to look forward to for a couple of days to see if it actually works out. I'm gonna head down there probably tomorrow, a little bit early, so I can make sure that I catch her and see if we can have another conversation again. It's more or less just for fun and for companionship, and kind of as something to entertain me in ways. I know it may not sound right, but I'm not interested in a relationship. I'm not going to get in a relationship. I don't want to deal with all that drama. And one thing that I've learned in life is a woman generally comes in my life when I'm about to make a crap ton of money. And she usually leaves my life after I've lost the crap ton of money. So, just kind of seeing that happen, I'm like, no, I seen it, no, go back in your coffin, it is daylight. So, but at the same time, it'd be kind of cool to have somebody that doesn't have a beard to have a conversation with too. So anyways, I thought I'd tell you guys that story as a way of being able to say, okay, we are done for the day. Make sure you share this stuff. Tip jar down in the description. Everything else down in the description. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to be part of the family. All that other stuff. I love you. I know you guys love me. Thank you for being here. And everything else positive. Okay. So anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for being here for my live stream.